In this session, you'll hear about personal branding. What does that mean, and how can working on your personal brand help you communicate what you have to offer and not least what you want to offer? We have former pro basketball player Malcolm Lemmons on to give us some advice on how you can take control of what you're communicating and the impact that you wish to have. Now, after his own career as a professional athlete, Malcolm started writing to gain clarity for himself, but then he soon discovered that his writing was actually helping others, especially his first book called Lessons from the Game, which is about his own athlete story and the lessons he learned on that journey. Now he's ready with the second book, and this time it's on personal branding for athlete. Here he's mixing his own experience with years of research on how other athletes have successfully gone about this.
I really think personal branding is such an important topic and why it needs to be stressed for athletes to take advantage of, not only during their careers, but even afterwards, because it can be the thing that really carries them over and helps them kind of recreate their identities outside of being just an athlete and understanding what else they can bring to the table and what type of value they have to the real world.
We'll get into how this all has to pivot around your core identity as a person in order to build a brand that actually serves you and to avoid the most common mistake that athletes make when it comes to personal branding. Just on a side note here, if you have doubts about your core identity, which is very normal, go back to day one because there are plenty of sessions from day one to help you get clarity on that. Now, the communication part of this equation is important, and that's about making it easy for people to see and understand what you're bringing to the table. Because if you have to rely on other people's ability to guess what you can do for them, you're really putting yourself to the back of the line. And that's whether you're looking for a job, or you want to attract clients to your own business, or you want to support or create a nonprofit.
That's a really good question. I think it's the underlying lessons in those stories. So what did you learn from actually tearing your ACL? How did you kind of bounce back from that adversity, that setback? What takeaways did you get? So it's not the actual action or the thing, it's what did I learn from this thing that has helped me going forward in life? How is this maybe a better person or someone who is able to adapt, or whatever the case might be, and then being able to communicate that to somebody. So I think you have to, it takes a level of self-awareness and reflection. I think is very important. Essentially it's wisdom. So you're gaining wisdom and you're learning how to communicate that to whoever. I think vulnerability is huge. It's like you said, it's a buzzword. It's something that everybody talks about nowadays, but not something that everybody is willing to do when it comes down to it. So it's about being open. It's about speaking your truth at the end of the day.
I'm Anja Bolbjerg, founder of athletestory.com, former world top 10 skier in moguls and freeride skiing, and now way into life after sports. I'm going to be your host on this summit, and my role is to make sure that we cover the questions that former athletes have, as well as the ones that you didn't know you had.